Hello, and thank you for joining us again today. Today we're going to be talking about wireless N technology. While wireless N has been around for a while, I actually have the date written up here, since 2009. In those couple of years that we've had it and been using it every day, there's still a lot of folks who are a little confused or maybe see it as a bit of a mystery on how it works and maybe what kind of benefits that we can expect to see from it. So I wanted to take a few moments today to just sort of explain things, lay it out. Like I said, since 2009 is when wireless N was ratified. Since then we've been able to reap the benefits of having that extra speed. One of the things that I have here on my list is that it includes A and G. This is something that I've actually run into a lot with our customers, is that they believe that N is a new letter in the spectrum here. And while it is, there is A, you'll see A, B, G, and N, listed together, N really encompasses a sort of a revision or a refreshing of the old A and G standard, and getting more speed and more bandwidth from those standards. So A and G are both sort of revitalized and used in a different way to make sure that we have a lot more bandwidth. So 600 meg, I wrote this down because this is one of the big numbers you'll see associated with wireless N. Sometimes you'll see 450, sometimes you'll see 300. A lot of times it depends on the manufacturer, the platform you're talking about. But how do you get this much bandwidth? Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that later, but I wanted to just throw that down here, that this is kind of one of those numbers that you're going to see associated with wireless N. And then kind of the big one is, how does all of this work together? Well, I focused more on this word and then this word a little bit as well, but MIMO, I guess is a word, but stands for multiple input, multiple output. And what does that mean? Well, it's really important when you're explaining wireless N, in that through the use of multiple radios and through also streams, which we'll get into, you can increase the bandwidth of the already pre-existing standards of A and G. So instead of just having a single A radio, a single G radio, you have multiple radios and multiple antennas that can add to that speed or that bandwidth that's available. So like I said, we're going to talk a little bit about streams, and I wanted to explain this. Streams may be something that you're going to hear when you're talking to an engineer, or even when you're reading any documentation on wireless N. Streams is a popular word used. In addition to channels is another thing. And this is kind of a crude drawing. I'm famous for crude drawings on what streams is. With legacy technology, with your wireless A and G, you had one stream right here. And these, if you were to split this down the middle, you'd have two streams per channel, 20 megahertz channels. That was the way wireless always worked. But through MIMO and through using multiple streams, we now add more streams, expanding the initial 20 megahertz channel to 2. And then now with wireless N having 2 channels of 20 megahertz, which gives us 4 streams. So if you want to think of this as kind of like a highway, if all the cars were down on this one road, okay, we're used to going that speed or having that much room on the road to move around or to move that much traffic through at a time. But if you were then to expand that single road to a 4-lane highway, how much more traffic could you get through? And that's really all that streams is, and how it relates back to MIMO. All right, so the final thing that I really wanted to share with you today is what these numbers mean, and I've been asked this several times. A lot of times when you look at things, Cisco access points, or anybody's access points really, you're going to see these numbers sort of set up in this configuration. So you'll see, well, hey, this access point is a 2x2 or a 2x3, or well, what does that mean? What is that there? Is it just a math equation? No, thank God. But what is it? This is really all it is. The initial number is your transmit antennas. How many transmit antennas will it use? And the secondary number, the 3 here in this case, are the receive antennas. And then how many streams is the final number. So, if you had an access point that was rated in this fashion, it would be 2 transmit with 2 receive at a max, using 2 streams. So they would refer to it as a 2x3 probably for short. And then they probably would tell you later in the documentation that it was utilizing 2 streams. Now, why does this matter? Well, we talked about in the beginning the 600 megabytes per second as a pie in the sky number. Where do you achieve any of that? Well, these numbers become very important, because not only do they matter on the access point side, which is what we're all trying to connect to in the office or at McDonald's or wherever you are, But it also matters on your client side. So your cell phones, your iPads, your laptops, what are they rated at? You know, a lot of devices are, you know, I would say most cell phones really are probably 1x1, because if they were 2x3, the batteries would last about 10 minutes, which is a total guess. But, you know, you get what I'm saying. So if my cell phone is only a 1x1, am I really going to take advantage of all of this? No. You know, so my cell phone, while, you know, can it connect to N wireless? Yes. Is it really going to get that full throughput or that full benefit of what N is bringing to the table? No. So it's not going to see 600 megabytes per second necessarily. Now, are there laptops or other devices that are better? Absolutely. In fact, there's some laptops out there that are rated 3x3 and have multi-streams and can really take advantage of all that wireless has to offer. Well, so hopefully you were able to learn something today. I hope this was helpful. And I wanted to just sort of highlight this stream of numbers again. And I'm going to give it a red smiley face because it's a little confused, because while it looks like a math problem, it's not. And I do appreciate you spending some time with us today.